And there's every indication that today the teachers of Jamaica will start another round of industrial action. They call it Call to Action number 7. And the resolution has obviously been passed, which has mandated that if the teachers fail to get a favorable response from the government, I'm going to share with you what the resolution is. And it is calling for action to be taken by the teachers of this country. Time for our next item on the agenda.
That is it. It is now time for WTF. What the fact? Now here we're going, and I didn't actually never knew this. Starfish. Yeah, man, we know starfish. Well, they do not have a brain. That's right. So despite their name, starfish, first of all, aren't actually fish. For starters, they don't have gills, scales, or fins like fish do. And they don't have a backbone, which means they belong to a group of species called invertebrates. Now, that's along with urchins and sponges. And, of course, because they're not classified as fish, scientists, prefer to call them sea stars. However, we think it might be a while before the new name catches on. It seems strange to think that starfish can actually survive without a brain or even any blood. But if nothing else, starfish are a species with their own way of doing things. Now, instead of blood, seawater is pumped through their body as a replacement, with the water providing key nutrients to starfish, which allows its organs to function properly. And since there's no shortage of water around them, they'll never run out of it. Simple maths. Oh, and by the way, there are over 2,000 species of starfish, or sea stars.
Okay.
Like I made that name, they catch on. Sea stars.
Sea stars.
Okay.
Because they aren't actually fish.
Yeah, I understand it's very popular on the menu on the streets of China and places like Indonesia. Yeah, and Thailand. It's very, very popular there.
Why?
I don't know. But it's one of them. What do you call it? You call it a fish?
Sea star.
Yeah, sea star, right? I understand that it can be quite poisonous.
You see, I don't think that's on top.
Dangerous and poisonous for consumption, but I guess there's a way to fix it or prepare it.
No.
It's just like the fish they call barra.
Lion.
Lionfish too.
Lionfish.
Yeah. Barracuda. Yeah. It is said that if you eat it, I don't know if it's certain seasons or something like that, it can be very poisonous.
Just like Audley's favorite oysters too.
Right.
Them say have a couple of oysters a night where
Come on, Shelz.
what can do you harm.
Come on, Shelz.
For people out there, all I say odds is that if this creature work very hard to avoid us, there's a reason. And I think sea stars are one of them. They work very hard.
But for that matter, most of what we eat work hard to avoid us. In all honesty. Yes, sir.
Oh, boy.
Have you ever seen a chicken being slaughtered or a goat or something, man? No, it's not a nice sight.
Not at all.
28 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock, that was
WTF, what the fact?
Hey, give them an update. Let's go.
All right, here we go on Bridge Nation. Personally, your boy Shelz like when we say hardworking artists feel them, this type of way about themselves. But when I talk about TJ, you understand me? TJ, he's speaking about, feeling like he's underrated in the dancehall. And of course, we know TJ is one of the biggest dancehall artists to emerge in the past few years. But the Mobile DJ says he feels like he doesn't always get the credit he deserves for his contribution to Jamaica's popular music. Now we know TJ burst onto the scene in 2018 with his breakout hit Up Top, which ultimately catapulted him to dancehall stardom and gave him the moniker Up Top Boss. The following year, he released a single of the same name, Up Top Boss, which helped put his name on the map, and of course saw him joining Ramesh Entertainment in a management deal. Of course, the artist is now being managed by Sharon Burke's Solid Agency after parting ways with Ramesh, and right now Shaggy, who is closely aligned with Burke, took the artist under his wings. Now, despite his monumental success in dancehall over the last few years, TJ feels he still hasn't received the proper respect he deserves. He said in a recent interview, "Enough time I feel like people don't really give me the credit, like, underrated vibe," the Sing J said. "But we still keep on the work. Same way." Shaggy offered some assurance to TJ that it's not him who is the problem, but some artists may feel insecure and reflect that in their interactions with him. The people that they don't give credit are the people that to me they fear the most. This is what Shaggy says. A man might not wanna give you that because he knows that's that dude. He knows that you're that guy. And that's the problem right there. The guy that is not a problem, that they don't fear, they're gonna be like, you know what? Complimentaries to that guy. It's not a fear. So that's interesting hearing that from Shaggy as well. Shaggy's basically saying, yo, chew them fear, yo. Make them not gonna give you the ratings that you deserve.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting.
TJ, he went on to say some other things too, because he was talking about the fact that he was working on an album, and he reached out to some Jamaican artists for collaborations to do a few bars, 8 bars or so, and he was quoted $5,000 US.
Yeah.
So him say him have some man where him just block and delete. Yes.
Yeah, joke.
And then he made reference to the fact that look at Shaggy, who just collaborated with him on that song that we have, the Geldem Time, without charging him anything and helping him along as well. So but he's very talented, and he doesn't have to worry too much, and maybe more talented than many who are giving him a fight. So TJ, be encouraged, boss.
Yeah, man. Let's go and put in the work.
He sings well. He's a good singer, you know.
Yeah, man.
And he's a bad DJ. So we expect that bigger things will be happening for him going forward.
Yeah,
big up yourself. All right, I'm going to switch from entertainment, Shelz, because this is of national importance, and I have in my possession a bulletin that was sent out by the Jamaica Teachers Association. It's a call to action number 7, and the photograph of Mrs. Lasonia Harrison, the president of the JTA, is on it, and it says the resolution further mandated that if we fail to get a favorable response from the government, be it resolved that A, Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Thomas take industrial action on May 25 and 26. That would be today and tomorrow, and return on May 29th.
Wow.
B, Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, Portland take industrial action on May 29th and 30th. And C, the entire island takes further industrial strike action on May 31 and June 1, 2023. And this was dated yesterday. I got it late last night, May 24. So we can expect some disruptions in the education sector today and until the 1st of June.
But I thought everything was okay.
No, it's not okay. Teachers are still having issues apparently getting their pay or the required working out the way it's calculated, the calculations. I think they're calling for that to be made public. And some teachers apparently are still not getting what they deserve based on the agreement, and not to mention the fact that in some instances we've heard of teachers getting their salary late still. So
despite signing the agreement,
they're still having some challenges.
Jeez,
and this is what the JTA has decided to do.
Oh boy.
Unfortunate, but for the kids that is, but they've got to do what they got to do, I guess.
Yeah, man.
All right, there's a story now that we want to pay tribute to, of course, one of the legends. We're talking about Tina Turner. She passed yesterday, and we wanted to, Shelz, basically just pay some respects to her. This legendary rock and roll singer who died at the age of 83. In fact, Tina Turner was a pioneering rock and roll star who became a pop icon in the 1980s. She died after a long illness. She had suffered ill health in recent years, having been diagnosed with intestinal cancer in 2016 and having a kidney transplant in 2017. She affirmed and amplified black women's formative stake in rock and roll, defining that era of music to the extent that Mick Jagger admitted to taking inspiration from her high kicking, her energetic live performances for his own stage persona. And after several decades of working with her then husband, Ike Turner, she went on her own as a solo act and had some defining pop some albums that are still standing the test of time. She has quite a catalog of hits and was definitely right at the top of her game. And she will be sadly missed. Lots and lots of tributes are coming in from international stars and superstars, her colleagues in the business, and others. Even here in Jamaica,
Yeah, man,
we see where a number of our own artists have been paying tribute.
Yeah, man. We see that Tessan Chin, she took to Instagram to hail Turner as an inspiration. Tessan said, "Today is a sad day," she wrote in her story. "I'm lost for words. Farewell to one of my ultimate heroes. All my love and respect." And she put the hashtags Queen, Tina Turner, and Legend. Of course, in another Instagram page, comment, Tassan wrote, "What a woman and what an incredible gift and life." And of course, again, she said, "All my love and respect to you now and always, ma'am. There is only one Tina." Of course, for dancehall artist Patra, Turner embodied what it meant to be alluring and a class act altogether. Patra said, "When I was a little girl, the only female artist at the time I listened to was this beautiful woman right there," she wrote in a tribute post. "She taught me how to be confident, sexy, without showing too much. Pure talent." And she used the hashtags Icon, Tina, thank you, and of course, rest in peace. And of course, there was even a statement issued to the press by Minister Olivia Babsy-Grange, and she credited Tina Turner as a singer, dancer, actress, and author, adding that the world has lost one of the great and enduring entertainers who was a woman of tremendous resilience. So, big up.
Big up
Tina
indeed,
Turner.
and rest in peace. I had the pleasure of watching her perform in Florida.
Wow.
When she was doing her farewell tour, I think they called it at the time. It's one of the best concerts that I've ever seen. I remember Lionel Richie opened, and Lionel has got a lot of hits,
Yeah,
right?
man.
Yeah.
So I'm there sitting in my chair thinking, boy, you look like Lionel had turned up the heat on Tina. I wonder how she gonna manage. Hello. Just her backdrop, her set when she came on alone, just killed everything that
Yes,
Lionel
yes.
did before. It's like you're looking at a 200,000 set to now a 5 million set. I mean, where lights looks like furnace in some instances, all kinds of stuff going on. Yep. She's on one level at one stage and then another level. Even at the very end of the show, she was actually extended over the audience, like with a crane looking kind of vibe, and just swinging over the people. Not close enough for them to touch her.
Yeah.
But it was fantastic. And I remember when we were leaving that stadium, all you could hear people saying, I think at the time she was maybe about 70 something, and all you could hear people saying, everybody was talking about it. She's 70, like that. She's 75. I can't believe she's 70. Everybody's she's, you know what I mean? She was phenomenal. Yeah, and so many big songs. We're gonna play one of them, of course. I like Private Dancer. I like What's Love Got to Do with It, but I think DJ Audley is also going to play one of our favorites and one of his, which is Simply the Best.
Man.
All right, rest in peace, Tina Turner. That was Update. So, LearningHub is a revolutionary education technology company committed to providing unparalleled educational resources, really, and online assistance to students, parents, and educators globally. The founder of Jamaica's first ever online learning program for students at the primary and education and secondary level have launched a series of innovative courses at an astonishingly affordable rate. And I like how that sounds. And so this morning we have with us the founder and the owner of the Learning Hub, Dr. Shalete Ashman, to give us some more details. Good morning, Doc.
Good morning, Richie. Good morning to your co-host.
Morning, Dr. Ashman.
His name is Shelz, and we're happy to have you this morning, Doc.
Good morning, Shelz.
Good morning.
Nice to be here.
Yeah, man.
All right. Take us back to the very beginning. What would you say inspired the Learning Hub, and how have you been able to get it? Were you able to get it off the ground?
Okay, so in 2005, I started the whole e-learning business in Jamaica and the Caribbean. It sounds so ridiculous when I say it, but I had just finished my MBA and I went for a job in Florida. And I remember being in the interview and hearing these men talking about e-learning and what they were doing with their company, and of course, I didn't want the job after that. I was no longer interested in working for them. I was interested in working with them. And it was out of that I started Go GSAT Limited. So we started this partnership in 2005, and it's been good going ever since. In 2015, I partnered with Digicel and we started the Learning Hub. Because the GSAT exam was phased out and it was replaced with PEP, I just dropped the Go GSAT name and continued on with the Learning Hub even after my partnership with Digicel ended.
But you had a great deal of success as far as the GSAT and prep preparation was concerned.
Yes, I did. So we started Go GSAT, like I said, in 2005. We've had thousands of students using the platform. In 2006, I started another platform called CaribbeanExams.com, and that one now was for other Caribbean islands, because all the other islands, they have an exam which is similar to the GSAT, their version of the GSAT, their pre-high school exam. And of course, the entire region, or most of the region, they do CXE exams, right? So we started Caribbean exams for the other countries, and we had Go GSAT running in Jamaica. So over all these years, we had those two platforms running together. And we had tremendous success. We have had over 500 students winning scholarships who use Go GSAT. We're talking about Top Boy, Top Girl. I mean, important national scholarships. And as a company, we too have won 4 national innovation awards for education.
Wow. Congrats, Dr. Ashman. Now, I know that there's a website, www.learninghubacademy.com. And so I'm curious to find out what are the special features of that website?
All right, thanks. So we have 2 main websites running now. We have learninghub.online, which is individualized learning, and then we have Learning Hub Academy, which is what we're pushing this morning, and that is live classes. So one of the things we recognize is that there are students who will need facilitation. They will need a tutor to guide them with their learning. You can't just send them online and say, okay, cover this topic on your own and expect them to be fine. So Learning Hub Academy, we provide live classes in addition to having notes and testing material on the platform. And this is the product that we're offering to the entire country at $1 per week. That's 150 Jamaican dollars per class per week.
That is extremely. I don't know how you manage to do that. Really, how do you manage to keep the cost so low?
We've been doing this for a very long time, so it's not. So we have invested a lot of money, millions of dollars, developing our content over these last 17 plus years. So it's not like a company that is starting up now and has all the costs. So we are in a position to basically offer our product at a very affordable rate. I mean, one of the things that we wanted to do was to make this product so affordable that anybody can use our platform. I mean, a little bit of my background. I grew up in Grand Spin. My father was in the auto detailing business, car wash. My mother was a domestic helper. So, I mean, it was education that basically propelled me to where I am. And I want to afford students, doesn't matter their socioeconomic status, to get that opportunity to be able to use what I have developed to improve their standings.
You must be commended, in all honesty.
Thank you.
And I'd like to get your thoughts, Dr. Ashman, on the overall use of online learning to sort of complement formal education.
All right. So online learning can be a very effective tool if it is done well. All right. So for one, it provides that flexibility where you can be wherever you are, and you can be on a platform wherever, whenever. So if you want to study in the middle of the night or whatever, you don't have to have a teacher there, or you don't have to have it's not synchronous. You can do your learning at your own pace, at your own time. Now, also, online learning, it basically levels the playing field, because if the platform is good or if the content is good, you are now providing students the access to great resources, I mean, which, prior to online learning, only few would get access to, you know. For example, in 2009, I partnered with Harvard University. When Harvard Law School saw what I was doing, they actually gave their resources, their law school students to come and mentor Jamaican students. That was way before Zoom. That was when I was using a product called WebEx. So you had Harvard students, and you know, I had a Harvard professor working with me, mentoring Jamaican students, teaching Jamaican students. So you can bring the best learning resources to the masses, and it can be done at a fraction, you know, of the price, you know, what you would pay. I mean, just imagine a Jamaican student paying to get a Harvard Law School person to tutor them, how much it would cost. And these students can pay, well, they were paying at the time absolutely nothing to get that kind of tutorship or tutorial.
Wow. Wow, now right now, let me tell you what's going on, Dr. Ashman. The parents of Bridge Nation, I'm excited right now. All right, everybody excited. So right now, I'm curious to find out two things. Where can parents go to sign up? And do you guys have a physical space for the Learning Hub?
All right, so we do have a physical space for office. All of this, all our academy is totally online, so they can go to learninghubacademy.com. That's learninghubacademy.com, and they can just register. They can add whatever course they want to their cart and just pay for it, and they'll get access to all the material. They'll get access to their Zoom classes. Everything is already structured, professionally designed, and we have classes for students in early childhood. So we're talking about students age 4 and 5, and of course primary school and high school.
Wow. And again, the cost is $1 US for this new innovation.
Yes, it's, and actually, Richie, we started in 2014. I remember it was Minister Ronald Tweets at the time who actually launched my academy. So we didn't start last week. We started this initiative way back in 2014 when we saw that you could actually use online to influence learning. I must just put a plug in. My PhD is in online learning. It is in computing technology and education. So, I mean, when I decided I was going to go into the online space, I actually went and did a PhD in online learning. So, I mean, I recognized way before COVID that, yes, this is a tool that you can actually use to teach children. And, you know, how it's not just to give them rote memorization. You can actually structure the material so that you have reasoning, comprehension, synthesis, collaboration, that kind of a thing. All the things that students need to provoke higher order thinking skills and to really provoke real learning can be done online.
Lest we forget this very brilliant, innovative lady, Dr. Shalete Ashman. As she told us, she hails from Grandspen, and she has made a very, very big success of her life and is helping a lot of others as well. Respect. We're proud of you, and we thank you for talking to us this morning, and best wishes going forward, Doc.
Thank you, Richie B. Thank you, Shelz, for having me this morning.
Have a good day.
Yeah, man.
You too.
She's the owner and founder of the Learning Hub, Dr. Shalete Ashman. Welcome back from Africa, Robo Ranks.
Yo, you remembered. Listen, the birds have gone.
Are they?
They've gone. Yeah, so I didn't do the research. Thank God for a 10-year-old girl by the name of Rhea, who happened to be my daughter. She said,
Hi, Rhea.
Let's go to Google. Let's go to Google. And she's done her research. She said the birds, they will have a brood twice for in the spring, one early spring and one late spring. And they will be there for approximately, she said, she's swiping up, 10 days. 10 days. And after 10 days, the little baby birds or the chicks, they'll get tired of hearing their dad's voice. And they will leave the coop or the nest, which was obviously in my room. And to the day, Richard.
Really?
12 days, they were gone.
Oh, my goodness.
Up to yesterday, she was talking about, I told you, Dad.
Yeah.
I told you, Dad.
Come on, give her a round of applause.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
So I had nothing really to worry about. I don't have to do a foul coop. Don't have to renovate the house. All I got to do now is find some poor soul to climb up there and block the hole. And that's that. She was so right. 14 days. The
Problem
birds,
solved.
The birds
Imagine
fly
that.
the nest after 12 days.
Yeah.
Wow.
Gosh.
Unlike our children. But anyway.
Not an argument that.
Good morning, team.
Welcome back, Robo. How was Africa? Let me tell you something, man. I saw some videos. I don't know if you are aware that videos are out with you in action on stage.
Yeah.
At a glance, in one of the videos that has gone viral, I thought it was a top DJ with a string of #1 songs that went not just on local charts but on the Billboard charts. And then I realized when you turn around that it was you.
It was just me impersonating every artist.
with 10,000 people or more out there lapping up every bit of the action that you were delivering. Well done. How was it?
It was great, man. I mean, you have to experience where, and you know what, I've talked about it before, where people actually love the music. We're so much used to our own culture. It comes to a point where it's almost like fast food, and we're not as excited as we should be about our music because we consume it so quick. In other words, we're like the new generation, man. We're just entitled. We're so entitled to the music that we can't see beyond, just the, bo forward and that's it. The music lives. It breathes outside of our culture, the culture. And when you see people reacting to the songs, some of these songs are like, there's a track I played by an artist by the name of Ginger. That song is from 2014. Richie, it's still one of the biggest songs. It's like rotated daily on radio. So they're not entitled. They gravitate to what they get and what the mass likes, and they work with it. It's not a case of, him hot today and him done tomorrow. Some of the songs are still rotating out there in East Africa, Tanzania, Kenya, Uganda, Busy Signal, Jacure, Itana, Elaine, Christopher Martin, Romain Virgo, Beres Hammond, and then don't mention the dancehall stuff.
Yeah.
So, they're quite happy with the consumption of music. And another thing that's now artists enough to listen to me. Good. Another thing that's reaching inside of Africa. Once upon a time, people would say, yeah, they listen to music, but they're not buy music. So it stopped artists from actually exploring this continent of billions who love the music because they couldn't see the pound, shilling, and pence. Now streaming services are now attached to every kid's phone. If they stream one of your songs, you will see the numbers like we see on Burna Boy, Wizkid, applied to our music. So when we marvel at the streams, that's the kind of potential that we have on the motherland.
Yeah.
So the artists who turn their back on a continent in the race just to be hot locally,
big mistake.
Joke.
Bravo. You're out to lose. You are going to lose. In the same
Big
way,
time.
we kind of say that Afrobeat, in terms of its presence around the world, is kicking our culture all over the place. Not on that night, though. I had to kick their ass. But it is that what makes it popular. Head count, eyeballs, streams. Go to your potential artists, labels, companies. That's where the heads are.
Yeah. Did you play like music from, say, the 70s or the early years, and what was that reaction like?
It was a younger crowd,
Okay.
so to be fair, 90s was probably the
Furthest you went back.
I mean, no, Dawn Penn is still like an anthem out there, and Beres Hammond, classics, 90s classics. It's I mean, they're obviously a generation before who would, they grew up on Burning Spears, Culture, Jacob Miller, Bob Marley, but that's a generation before, if you know what I'm saying. This crowd, like the clubbing crowd, they just embrace, dancehall and reggae like it's normal club music. And as you can see, I mean, if you saw some of the shots from some of the other DJs, the Afrobeat, side by side, like chicken and fries, bro. They were just eating that, man. So, yeah, it's a good look. And although the event was kind of built as a versus, I mean, some of the DJs that was on the bill, G-Money and Grouchy, are huge Afrobeats DJs in Africa. So, we played side by side. And the vibe is just one music. It's our music. Yeah. We're winning. Nothing else played. It was our music playing there.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a beautiful thing.
That's right.
Great. Good job, bro. Give them an update. Hey, Shelz, I know you can't wait to talk a little bit about football, man.
Yeah.
I'm not too certain that you're in a rush to talk about Chelsea.
No, but a big match is a big match, same way. You understand me? So look more at 2 p.m. Bridge Nation. Manchester United will be playing Chelsea. Nothing to play for both teams, really. I mean, Man U looking to solidify a Champions League spot.
You think I need to turn on DJ Audley's mic in this segment, or just?
Yeah, man. Out of respect for the champions, you know.
Right.
You know, yeah.
We are the champions.
Yeah, big up City. Man. Yeah, so you will know City run gone with it already. But big match 2 o'clock our time. Man United and Chelsea.
What did you say they're playing for? Man United wants to make it
the Champions League spot. So the top 4 is for Champions League. Right. Chelsea is just trying to finish the season on a high, trying to get any type of positives that they can. Nothing can really. Yeah. As long as we not get relegated, we're good. So we already avoided that. So it's just all about finishing the season as best as we can, and just wheel on forward again. Cause boy, but I just hope we don't get embarrassed. I think that's what they're aiming for. This game is just not to get embarrassed at Old Trafford.
People are still talking about the Arsenal, the fall of Arsenal, man. I tell you,
Richie. I know not normal.
What happened there?
I mentioned it earlier in the week, Richie. Arsenal led the Premier League for 93% of the season.
Right.
But I don't know.
At the last minute, when it mattered most, they kind of fell apart.
Yeah, serious.
I was in a barber shop the other day when they were getting what was it, 3 or 4-0.
I think it was.
It was not good. You're the man over the
Yeah, get it right.
Yes, sir.
But they got Champions League, which is good. So
it's not
it's
over.
a very young.
It's done.
It's a very young team. So big up Arsenal. But yeah.
Wait, say them have Champions League.
Yeah, a long time Arsenal are Champions League.
So. Have 5 them I get over there.
Mind you can't walk when they go there.
That's what the City fans say. For them time.
Yeah. Have any of you seen Mr. Michael Leachin recently?
I sent him a message, but never get a blue tick.
I want to tell you, him replied to mine.
John.
So basically, he made a statement recently, and it's a very important statement. It caused some kind of ripple effect in the local space, and to the extent that he had to follow through with another statement. First of all, this is what we gleaned from Michael Leachin from NCB.
Well, so what's happening is that amid news that NCB Financial Group Limited board chairman Mr. Michael Leachin and his decision to take a leave of absence from the organization for 3 months, the financial group is of course moving to assure stakeholders that there will be a seamless transition. Now the NCB Financial Group acknowledged that it makes sense that some stakeholders have questions regarding Leachin's decision to take a leave of absence to focus on, and they put in quote, personal and business matters. Now, a statement from the group said, while we are not in a position to comment in detail on the matters in question, he has shared his need and desire to step into an executive role within his organization in Canada temporarily until he can find a replacement for his chief operating officer who is leaving after 25 years. The group also is just offering some words of assurance. Of course, they continued by saying that the financial group is, during the absence, will remain committed to their pursuit of their strategic pillars, which are to encompass strong financial performance, delighted customers, of course, inspired people of the culture, and of course, a commitment to being digitally driven at their core.
Right. So obviously, Michael Leachin realized, because many people were calling him with concerns, wondering if he's okay, and he knows the impact that that could have in the market. So he actually he had a conversation with a local entity, and he basically says, let me just make it patently clear. I went to the gym this morning and I was leg pressing 300 pounds. I did 1.5 hours of working out, so my health is fine. I am great, said a laughing Michael Leachin. And in further explaining what he said were the reasons for his absence, he cited his oncology and nuclear projects, noting that they were at a critical stage where they need special focus. He also noted that a COO, Chief Operating Officer, resigned at one of his companies in Canada, and he was in fact assuming the responsibility until he finds a replacement. Those are the main reasons NCB is in fantastic hands, he says, and it has been well managed through the past 20 years, and I thought I don't need to be there for the next 3 months. So that should allay a lot of the fears that were developing in the market and could even have an impact as far as the stock market is concerned. So he's A-OK and just wants a little time off to get some things sorted out on the Canadian side. Another thing that caught my attention was the publication by the People's National Party of a matter relating to Councillor Venetia Phillips, and it comes under the heading Councillor Venetia Phillips has ceased membership within the People's National Party. And it states, the People's National Party confirms that Councillor Venetia Phillips has ceased to be a member of the party by virtue of her own act. The PNP advises the public, and in particular the media, that Councillor Phillips is not authorized to represent or speak for or on behalf of the party in any capacity or at any forum. Please be guided accordingly. And that appears over the signature of Dr. Dayton Campbell, the General Secretary. Of course, not long after that was published, Venetia, who you know has been at loggerheads with the PNP for some time, maybe one of their most serious critics, she actually put out a post, I think I saw it on Twitter, where she basically was saying, but that happened, that was from 2 years ago. So she's saying it's not fresh information, but I think the party is going public with it for the first time, right, and making it 100% and absolutely clear. This morning we carry the story of the strike action being taken by teachers. Kevin, everything good? Yeah, and there are a number of reactions and so on.
Okay.
Many schools are being affected even as we speak, and one member of the Bridge Nation sent us a voice note and giving strong support for the teachers.
All right.
There are some members of the Bridge Nation who have been messaging me to say that they're very disappointed in the action being taken by the teachers, especially at this time when CXE exams and so on are being held. But there is a gentleman who sent us a voice note, and he's in strong support of the teachers of this country.
All right.
So let's hear what this member of the Bridge Nation had to say.
Good morning and bless up to my people, them, the whole Bridge family. Bridge Nation, I wanna stay. Yeah, man, wise words for the check-in. Richie B Shelz. Hardly, you know, there's something going on. Well, Richie, you hear me? The teacher, them deserve to strike and strike and strike. You see me, I say? Because right about now, the government never strike. When they come up with them little foolishness with there, and everybody will get this enormous increase. You know what I mean? I don't know if the teachers were forced to sign off on the liquor wage what them that get with there. You know what I mean? So right about now, them have to take the thing and, you know, go out the road. You understand? It's sad for no so boy it all come down to a placard bearing situation where teachers have to really and truly go put them foot on the gravel out there for strike to get a better wage. Now man, all the thing I look right about now, you know, good man. So if you want the teacher them stay here, you understand, you know, and to prevent some form of brain drain, pay the teacher them well, man. Pay the civil workers them well, because them a stop the thing right about now, because it seems like everything got fully done now. So we need the teachers them to stay around. So teachers, my side we don't know, go strike, and I come in with my placard too. Yeah man, up front.
Man, say my go there with him placard. Yeah, strong support for the teachers from Wise Words. This seems to be a sort of a continuation of what's been happening since the announcement of that enormous salary increase for the parliamentarians. As far as what Wise Words is saying, well, the Teachers Association, they're talking about the fact that they are seeking a favorable response from the government re some issues that they're still having. And as a result, the JTA called for strike action today. I suspect many schools in Westmoreland, St. Elizabeth, Manchester, Clarendon, St. Catherine, Kingston, and St. Andrew and St. Thomas are being affected as their union, the JTA, has called for strike action in those parishes today. It will continue, and that would be today and tomorrow. And the JTA is wanting for teachers to take action again, also in Hanover, St. James, Trelawney, St. Anne, St. Mary, and Portland on the 29th and 30th of May. And then they're calling for an all-island strike on the 31st of May and the 1st of June. Industrial action being taken by the teachers. We love to hear from you, Bridge Nation. You can reach us on 876-551-5782. We're here until 10 o'clock this morning, and we'd love to get your comments, whether it be a voice note or
and a text
message.
Yeah.
That will do. Brethren,
Yes,
you
sir.
saw the time run off, man.
Fast.
Quick and fast.
That is it.
We had this morning a very lively and informative chat with the owner and founder of the LearningHub, Dr. Shalete Ashman. A success story indeed, and she's giving back and helping out a lot of students through that portal. And they have a big deal going on right now. $1 US can get you all kinds of
$1 per course.
For learning. So make sure that you capitalize on that. I don't think that will last forever. So you need to hurry up and get in that deal.
That's right.
We have the secret sound game, no winner, although person seemingly we're getting kind of close. Nonetheless, we moved over to Robo Ranks at 7:45 for the UK connection. And
and of course at 9:15 it was all about constitutionally speaking, and today we took a look at part 9 of the Road Traffic Act, the part that deals with traffic wardens and pedestrian crossings and parking.
Whole heap of information from
man.
Mr. Mackenzie.
Big
Thank you
up,
once again, sir. Happiness cannot be traveled to, owned, earned, worn, or consumed. In fact, happiness is the spiritual experience of living every minute with love, grace, and gratitude.
Straight up.
Powerful words on which we close the program. Thank you very much. It has been a fairly challenging morning as we're fighting the sniffles and all of that still. But give thanks for the support from the entire team, and we wish everyone a great day. Bridge Nation, we love you. Take care, and we'll see you soon.